Okay, the meditation that we're going to practice this morning is all about feeling the fullness of emotions and life. And so as we move through, the request that I'll make is that you stay connected to your breath and to the sensations of your body enough to feel safe and grounded, but also let yourself experience lightness and space as much as feels okay for you. Go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable position. It might be seated, it might be lying down, but definitely support yourself so that you can relinquish the need to move as much as possible. If you're using oils to support your practice, now's a good time to go ahead and take a drop of the oil, place it in the palm of your hand, rub the palms together, hold them up, and take a full deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Again, breathe in through the nose, feel the entire torso expand in every single direction, front to back, side to side, top to bottom, out through the mouth. Last time, the deepest breath you can imagine, as if every cell in your body was breathing, filling you. And as you exhale, release every single bit of breath. Hold on to nothing. Allow the breathing to return to normal, whatever that is today. And give yourself a moment to just notice. Simply be with yourself. Notice what your breath is like. Notice the way it feels to breathe. Become aware of the body more deeply than perhaps you are when you're just walking around, living your life. Sense the innermost parts of the body. The spine, the muscles that connect to it. The parts of the body that move away from the spine. The shoulders, the hips, the arm bones, the leg bones. Sense the organs. And then begin to sense very deliberately the spaces in between. Feel the sensation of the organs floating, supported. The way the joints even move. Little cushions of fluid. Feel the body now rooting down into the earth. With each exhalation growing a little bit longer, a little bit slower. Sensing the parts of the body that are connected to the earth resting deeply into her. The entire back side of the body softening, smoothing, areas of held tension releasing, unwinding. Surrendering deeply the weight of the body, all that it contains, all that it attracts to it, all that emanates from it. Completely into the earth beneath you. Feel the sides of the body now softening. The spaces in between the ribs becoming more supple. The breath even easier. Any tightness in the low back, the sides of the body, between the ribs and the hips, dissipating. Sides of the arms and legs, slackening as you release the muscular effort. Perceptibly, purposefully releasing tension in the jaw, allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth, the shoulders to soften away from the ears, and the sides of the neck. Ease, smooth, release. Feel the ears relax, inside and out. The space behind the ears wrapping up towards the crown of the head. And then allow that wave of relaxation, softness to begin to flow down the body from the crown of the head, washing over the forehead and the eyes, touching not just the tissues and the bones, but the spaces in between, the sinuses, the soft palate, the teeth, down through the throat, the shoulders, the heart. The entirety of the lungs, inside and out. Diaphragm, the belly. All of the organs of digestion and reproduction. The front of the arms, the fingers, the hips, the pelvis, thighs, knees, shins, until all of the remaining tension that's willing to be released right now washes out through the tips of the toes. And you sense yourself now grounded and held. As if in the arms of someone very caring and nurturing. And at the same time, filled completely with a sense of lightness. As if you could float. Sensing deeply What is material? And also what is ethereal? Invite into this moment a knowing of the path that's led you to right now. Grant permission for the deepest parts of you to show you. To allow you to see from a vantage point higher than the linear moments of day-to-day life. And as you sense and attune to the journey that you've been on so far, become aware of the themes. The lessons, the recurring scenes and experiences. And if the mind wishes to tell stories, allow it. But choose to attune to the sensation. To what it feels like to be you. Grant permission for your experience to exist as it does. And if it feels possible, relinquish or put down for a moment any ideas that you might have that it should look a certain way or feel a certain way, that you should or must be doing a certain thing or not. And instead, try on the idea that all of these things are here for you. That nothing is truly happening to you. They're all in service. Maybe you even have a sensation of awareness that resisting the moments of your life in any way, small or large, is creating a sort of trap. Built of clay and mud. A sort of cave. And the more resistance arises, it's as though you take a handful of mud and place it on the wall. Make it harder and harder to see outside, beyond the walls of that cave of resistance, of shoulds, of musts, can'ts and won'ts. Just give yourself a moment here. in order to move to any place our heart truly desires to navigate to, we must first locate ourselves in space and time and be exactly where we are. And so whether you sense the walls of this mud hut, this little cave, are thick or thin, wet or dry, cracked or new, they're yours. And the journey from the cave of thoughts, from what your brain, your head, your mind has told you must be, should be, to the ocean of the heart, and this is one of the shortest and longest and the most profound journeys one can take. And so now move your awareness to the heart. And as you rest your energy and attention in your heart space, become aware of what it is that the soul understands. And what your soul has learned through that journey. Not the ways to protect or defend or resist, but the invitations to expand. The sweetness, the compassion, excitement, enthusiasm. Become aware that the truths that live in the heart, the things that make us sometimes feel the most vulnerable, are what connects us to everyone, to everything, through space, through time. And as we embrace the invitation of the heart to trust, to connect, to forgive, the mud and the grime of mental resistance begins to wash away. And so take this time now from the space of the heart, with the guidance of the teacher within you and your greatest wisdom. See the moments, the beings, the beliefs, which caused you to create these barriers. And as each one arises, allow yourself to feel filled with whatever sensation you associate. Allow yourself to feel for a moment the fullness of the experiences of your life, knowing you don't have to stay here. Offer forgiveness. To yourself, to others. Allow yourself to feel grief. Loss, disappointment. And as you move through, become aware the sound of water, on the other side of those walls. Perhaps it sounds like a light drizzle, maybe it sounds like a heavier storm. Let it flow. Hitting these mud walls, softening and washing them away. And as you call up each moment or each being, allow yourself to feel for a moment the fullness of the experience. To acknowledge the truth. Let go of the story. Receive the lesson. Surrender resistance. The walls that surround you begin to melt completely. And you can feel these warm drops of water begin to touch your face and your head. Just a little. The sort of grayness of the rainy sky, the darkness that came with the storm clouds begins to part. But the flow of raindrops continues. And so here you sit in the melting remains of the cave of your resistance, with warm light beaming down on you, and soothing rain washing you away. Begin to sense now all of the pleasure, the joy, the sweetness of being alive. Feel that the water, the raindrops, that are washing over you are completely permeated with the energy of expansiveness, of healing, of the light itself. Notice that with the release of resistance, more space has been created. And you're now able to hold more light. And in fact, the cleansing is happening not just on the outside of you, but from the inside out now. Every cell, every bone, all the spaces in between. Cleansed and illuminated until the entirety of your body is filled with light. And the rain slows to a trickle, maybe stops entirely. As you sense that light within you, expanding beyond the confines of the body, emanating from you in every direction. And take this moment to simply sense yourself cleansed, healed, open, light and grounded, aware of the mind connected to the heart. Know deeply that you have the power to accept and to receive the lessons of every single moment in your life. To allow yourself to be cleansed and healed. It's available to you at any moment you choose. Holding the sense of wholeness, connection. Begin to focus on the inhale, drawing any tendrils of your being that are outside of the confines of your body back into yourself. Retain the sensation of the warm glow of light. Take a deeper inhale still. Begin to feel the extremities awaken. Eyes stay closed. Feel the larger muscle groups, the torso begin to awaken. Perhaps stretch the arms overhead. And very purposefully stay connected. This more still, more centered space. Consider bringing the hands to heart center, or perhaps one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, and take a moment to set an intention. Refine the focus of your energy so that as you step away from this moment of stillness, healing, that you'll be going in the direction your heart's choosing. Not moving away from what the mind fears. Bring the palms toward one another if they're not already there. Rub them. Create a little bit of vibration. Before placing the cupped hands over the eyes, blink the eyes open into the darkness behind the hands. Slowly make space. Outside light coming in. Let the eyes become accustomed. Resist the temptation to rush. And when the eyes feel completely accustomed to the light, give yourself a moment with your eyes open, your body awake and alert, to simply experience yourself. Experience yourself in the seat of the observer, the receiver, aware that just because something happens doesn't mean you have to do something about it immediately. You can take a moment, or two, or three, to respond as you choose. And when you're ready to, go ahead and move about your day a little lighter, a little freer, a little more grateful and joyful.